G'day guys and welcome back to the Bulldog Fanatic YouTube channel as the Bulldogs won 111 to the Brisbane Lions 106 on Saturday night. It's quite a few days after the game and yeah, I still can't believe what happened. I'm just in absolute shock. We just did it. The Bulldogs just beat the two-time reigning premiers on their home deck to start the season with an absolute bang. And I'm here to discuss the good, the bad from what was an unbelievable game on Saturday night. The best game of opening round by a country mile for the neutral viewers. So hopefully the neutrals enjoyed it. And as a Dogs fan, it was a roller coaster of emotions, but it was all worth it. So what made Saturday night so special? Well, let's be real. No win last year felt that good compared to what happened on Saturday night. We only beat one top 8 side last year, and that was the Giants twice. And we have the wood over the Giants, so Saturday night just felt so special because we don't have a great record at the Gabba recently, which makes sense given how good the Lions are. So it was just that special, and the fact we were 26 points down, halfway through the third quarter, and I just thought it was getting one of those typical Dogs games where it was close, early on, and they just, the better side just got on top. That's what I really thought. I was just like, what? So I was basically saying it's over. And then we made that comeback. But I still had a bit of anxiety thinking we weren't going to win. It's just like, it's going to be one of those honourable close losses that we got so many times last year. But no, we bucked the trend. And I'm hoping it's not a one-off. Now, what made it so special? Just the resilience and the perseverance of this group. And things went down. We didn't, dig ourselves more in our hole. We fought back and got confidence, Momentum swings just kept shifting and shifting. And that's why I was really proud with the win. It's just the perseverance and the resilience. And it wasn't just the usuals that we relied on in Ed Richards and Marcus Bontempelli, which I will talk about. They were magnificent. But it was a collective effort of why we got back into the game. It wasn't just some certain individuals, It was a team effort why we got back into the game. So yeah, in the first half, we were in it with Brisbane. And boy, was I really frustrated in that first half. Mainly because we were just inaccurate, 2 goals 7 in a quarter time, and then we finished the half, 5 goals 10? It was just a really frustrating first half. I could tell we were in it. We were in the contest, and we were getting a lot of good shots, but we weren't capitalising. Sam Darcy and Matthew Kennedy missing crucial set shots early in the game. I thought it was going to bite us back in the butt in the end. So it was just really frustrating. And then when Brisbane did start to get momentum in the third quarter, I was like, those misses really start to hurt. But we turned it around. We absolutely turned it around. We were 6 goals 10. And then we finished the game with 16-15? We kicked 7 goals 1 in the last quarter. Insane. Our accuracy, we managed to kick accurately when it mattered most. That is what I was really impressed about, because I thought, I could have a mental effect on the players missing crucial set shots, but it didn't. And boy, crucial set shots late in the game. To Aaron Norton, yes, from a 15-minute penalty. Ed Richards and Marcus Bontempelli from the pocket. They were clutch, but obviously the clutch is my ball. Team English running back, a whole length of the ground, outworking his opponent Darcy Ford. It was a pretty simple set shot, but I was very, very nervous. But he managed to kick it. So clutch from those boys with the set shots, because it was an area that we needed work in the first half. But boy, did we make up for it in the second half, and especially in that last quarter. Now, I want to talk about some individuals, and I have to start with Ed Richards. My God, he had the most CBAs, the most centre bounce attendances, or centre throw-up attendances, as we say now, I guess, for the Bulldogs, and he was just crucial. He had 16 score involvements from his 30 disposals. So more than half his disposals led to scores. That's kind of crazy considering he had 30 touches. But yeah, he was huge down the stretch. Whenever he got the ball in the fourth half, it seemed like he was always going to hit the target or kick it to a dangerous spot inside 50. So that was just awesome to see. Clutch set shot in the last quarter from the kick from Bont. And he was the one that kicked it to Aaron Norton, which led to the 15-minute penalty for 5 minutes to go. It was just, so huge. Ed Richards was just huge getting clearances. And when he did have a quiet second quarter, but outside of that, he was absolutely magnificent. And the way the game's being played with, how transitional how transitional the AFL is moving into instead of stoppages. Ed Richards is like the king of that, because he's an outside type midfielder, and a lot of his disposals lead to scores, and that's some of the most impactful midfielders in the competition, and will be this year. And honestly, he could be our most important midfielder by the end of the year. Like, he was that good and that important to the win, and deservedly got the 10 coaches' votes from the game. So 5 from each. So he was absolutely magnificent. I want to talk about the debutants because Michael Selwood, Lockie Jakes, and Connor Butterick, all defenders. Connor Butterick making his club debut, while Michael Selwood and Lockie Jakes were making their AFL debut. Now, they were really important, and they did a lot of big things early on. Michael Selwood had 7 tackles, the most out of any Bulldog. Like, his defensive work rate and intensity was fantastic. And I know he's an older player. He's like 23, 24. But geez, his tenacity and ferocity, in the defense half is something we needed, to be honest. And gee, that tackle on Zach Bailey, in the pocket, that was absolutely brilliant. Zach Bailey wasn't happy with that. He got suspended for elbowing him, and he was lucky he only got 1 week for that. Zach Bailey, very, very naughty. I loved his work rate and tenacity, and I can see why he was highly rated and why we took him in the mid-season draft last year from Peel in the Waffle. So I thought Michael Selwood was fantastic, especially with his defensive pressure and intercepting, and he can play a range. He can play tall and small. He's that type of defender we really need, like an intercepting, defensively minded, versatile defender. So I was really happy with Michael Selwood. With Lockie Jakes, he had a few turnovers here and there, but he's a first gamer, so I'll absolutely take that. But I loved his run and carry. And I loved, he's not afraid to kick the footy wherever he wants it, really. And I really like that. And he took some kick-ins late, which did lead to some scores. Like, he loves the little 1-2s and stuff. He is a mini Bailey Dale. I call him mini Bailey Dale. Not just the blonde hair, but he's also got that right foot. And I thought he was really fantastic and really composed for a first game. And I think he will be staying in the side along with Selwood. I can't see them getting dropped anytime soon. They were just both fantastic. Now I want to talk about our club debutant, Connor Butterick, or Butterick, however you say it. But I thought he was really good. He had a few iffy moments in the first 3 quarters. Oh my God, his last quarter was fantastic. I'm going to tell you his last quarter stats because I thought he was really good in the last quarter. He had 10 disposals, 9 of them kicks. He went at 100% disposal efficiency. He had 4 score involvements. He also had 6 kick-ins. I think he took pretty much most, if not all, the kick-ins in the last quarter. And he played on from 5 of them. So he led to a lot of our goals. He started a lot of the scoring chains that led to scores in the last quarter just from his kick-ins. Like, taking pretty much all the kick-ins in the last quarter over Dale was I didn't expect that, but clearly he has good foot skills. And I really like that. We don't just have to rely on Dale to do all the distributing for us. We can use him as a second distributor, and clearly showed in the clutch and tight situations, he has the responsibility and the capability, to be a leading distributor in the big moments if Dale isn't having the impact. So I really liked Connor Butterick's first game, and I thought he was huge. And as expected, he brought a really good defensive style to their game. He was really good defensively as well. And I gotta speak of this man because I love him and everyone loves him. Marcus Ponticelli only had the 19 touches, but he kicked 3 goals. 2 goals on the run, which were pretty darn impressive in the first and second quarter. But the goal I was most impressed was that goal in the last. It was a great kick. I'm pretty sure it was from Sam Darcy. I kicked it to him, in the pocket. And then knowing Bont with set shots, I always get nervous because that's probably his biggest weakness is the set shots. But geez, it went through in the clutch, and it was huge. And that's what I don't mind about with the versatility of this Bulldogs side. That Bont doesn't have to play 70-80% mid to have an impact. He only had 46% in centre bounce attendances, so he only attended 46% of the centre bounce attendances because he was getting tagged by Josh Dunkley, and Dunks did a pretty good job of limiting his impact in the midfield. So the coach decided to throw him forward, and it worked well because he kicked a huge goal in the last and created a dangerous option in the forline to create separation from Aaron Norton and Sam Darcy. So I thought that was a really good move. You know, he sacrificed his impact in the midfield to become a target up forward. And I really think that's a good tool we can use, especially since our midfield is elite still anyways, in without him. So that was really good and huge from Bond. It's a shame he didn't get a coach's vote, because I thought his impact was fantastic, despite only having 19 disposals. Some weaknesses from the game, probably most importantly, the set shot goal kicking, especially in that first half. It was not great. Like Sam Darcy and Matt Kennedy missed some pretty gettable opportunities, and Bailey Williams. Gee, his game was good, but his finish could have been better. Like, he missed quite a few gettable set shots. He finished with 1 goal for Bailey Williams. So, he did kick that amazing goal of the year, candy goal, which evading 3 Brisbane players and selling some candy on Darcy Wilmot. It was pretty unbelievable, and it is definitely goal of the week, in my opinion. But his set shot goal kicking, he wasn't great. Like Sam Darcy, I don't think played a particularly great game. He was behind Harris Andrews in several marking contests, which I'm not a fan of. And I understand he was a bit underdone, and it was very humid, tough conditions to play in. But I didn't think Darcy was amazing, but he still had an impact. Still kicked a couple of snags and still obviously provided a very dangerous target up forward. So that's the thing. Sam Darcy and Aaron Norton didn't play their best games. Only kicked 4 goals between them, but we still won, and we still kicked 16 goals. Actually, we don't need to rely on them to kick 7 or 8 goals between them to get us a winning score. So yeah, I think the accuracy, set goal kicking can improve, and hopefully it starts this week. You know, we're back at Marvel under the roof, so there really is no excuse for kicking 5 goals 10 in the first half, really. And last thing I want to talk about is, where does that rank in Bulldogs home and away season wins? For me, it's certainly one of the best in the last few years. And I'm not just being and it's not just recency bias, but gee, that win felt so good. I was up and about. I was winning like we won a final or something. It just felt that good, you know. We've waited all summer for this. And I was dreading playing Brisbane at the Gabba, but I did say throughout the week, this is the best time to beat the Lions at the Gabba. At the start of the season, when they've had a shorter preseason than us and the rest of the competition. And they're a bloody good side, Brisbane. Clearly, like Charlie Cameron, yeah. That's one other weakness. Like, we couldn't stop Charlie Cameron, especially early on. Like, it seemed like everything he touched turned to gold. He did make a few cock-ups towards the end, Charlie Cameron, which did help us. But yeah, very dangerous. So we got to be a bit aware of like small forwards like Charlie Cameron, you know, as the weeks and as the season goes on. So that was one thing I was disappointed about. But we won, so we got away with it. But yeah, where does that rank on Bulldogs wins? Is it the best home and away season Bulldogs win under Luke Beveridge? It's definitely up there. It's definitely top 10, maybe even top 5. I would still have the 2 Sydney wins at the SCG in round 5 2015 and round 15 2016 respectively. They're probably my 2 favourite home and away wins, especially back then when we didn't have as much talent compared to now. But I'm not understating how good of a win that was. It was amazing on the road, you know, when really no one gave us a chance, and even I didn't think we'd be much of a chance, really. But just simply lovely. And yes, that win was absolutely terrific. Definitely one of the better wins in recent years, or just in the entire Luke Beveridge, Marcus Bontempelli era. But can't dwell on the win forever. We do have a game on Saturday against the GWS Giants at Marvel Stadium for our first home game in the season. I'm excited, but also nervous because there'll be higher expectations on us, even though the Giants came off a terrific win against Hawthorn, a very undermanned Giants team, mind you. So if we lose on Saturday, the win we just had against the Lions won't be as special. So we got to back it up. That's what the best sides, the absolute pinnacle sides, do in the competition. You know. So I'm very happy with the win on Saturday, and I've absolutely lapped it up. But we got to move forward on to the next one against the Giants at Marvel Stadium. So thank you guys for watching for my review of an amazing win against the Brisbane Lions. The preview for the Giants game will be out in a couple of days, so look forward to then. As always, go you mighty Bulldogs. See you next time.